Hey everybody, Dr. Derek Alessi. I want to shoot a very quick video today talking about dementia and the role that your diet plays in that, your memory, and in your cognition, or how quickly you're thinking. Now, when it comes to dementia, dementia is in many different stages, with the seventh and worst being considered Alzheimer's disease. And maybe you've heard this before. It's being known in research circles as type 3 diabetes, and the reason why is because there's such a huge correlation between type 2 diabetes, having high glucose and insulin insensitivity, to type 3 diabetes or developing dementia and then eventually Alzheimer's disease. And what we're seeing is that they're moving step by step as diabetes has been increasing, and it has been tremendously throughout the years. So too is dementia. In fact, right now, dementia is probably the most talked about aspect or disease of diabetes, of anything that you're even hearing about, where maybe years ago it was more about amputations or kidney problems. We're hearing a lot more about dementia. And I would say both diabetes and dementia, without question, were the most popular topics up until COVID-19, in which, of course, that superseded everything with the pandemic that's going on. But it's resurfacing yet again, and we're hearing more about it. And it's something that, for the most part, is well within your control. So let's talk about that a little bit. So a study came out, and this was great. It was very short, just 4 weeks in length, in which they took 12 participants that had metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is having obesity, so body fat above 35% for adult, high blood pressure, so blood pressure is too high, high triglycerides, and high blood sugar, blood glucose over 100 in fasting. And by the way, that represents about 52% of adults in the United States that have metabolic syndrome. So they took participants and they broke the group in half. One group, they gave a relatively low carbohydrate diet, less than 50 grams of carbohydrates a day. The second group, they did the same thing, less than 50 grams of carbohydrates per day, but also added 3 times per week of training, supervised with a trainer/coach, and also made sure that they did that regularly for about 45 to 60 minutes. In the process of doing so, both groups dramatically increased their brain-derived neurotropic factor. So they were looking at the special compound that the brain produces from the pituitary gland to make sure that they were seeing the effects of it. And in both groups, it went up, which was great, a lot of research believes that can help prevent against dementia, especially long-term dementia and then Alzheimer's. But what they weren't looking for is something that's very fantastic as well, and that is the fact that body fat dropped, triglycerides dropped, blood sugar dropped, all of those dropped, and in a relatively short period of time. Once again, the time was only 4 weeks. You could only hope to imagine what could happen with even longer. Now, between the two groups, they ate the same way, and the results were both outstanding. In fact, it was a 20% decrease of most of those things, except for the brain-derived neurotropic factor that increased for the group that just did the nutrition. For the group that did the nutrition and the exercise, 38% increase, which is almost double, which is even better. The point here is this: we want to have the right diet. We could prevent a lot of things, not just COVID-19, and of course we want to prevent that, but we want to prevent COVID-19 as well as diabetes, dementia, triglyceride problems that come from the liver and can lead to heart attacks, high glucose that can lead to a lot of problems, vision problems, stroke, heart attack, kidney problems, peripheral neuropathy, and a lot of other things as well. And you could lower your body fat all at the same time. The nutrition, super important, but if you do that along with the right kind of training, even better. So I linked the study down below. You can see it in the email. If you want to read more about it, please do. Very interesting, and it's also done as a way to influence. In fact, I think it's a great thing to take a look at, where you could see, and this is a peer-reviewed study, by the way. It's not just somebody putting out a test. It has to be peer-reviewed in the medical community, which makes it the next level up. Actually, it's 2 levels up from just doing straight research. So it's all down there for you to take a look at. Let's put it all together, the right diet and the right workout. And if you do that, you're going to see great results. I'm Dr. Derek Alessi, asking you to make the most of your life and live it fit.